Welcome back to the channel. I'm Rochelle and this is Brampton Gardener, and today I came outside just to kind of water and check on the garden, and everything is looking so nice. It's a beautiful day, so I thought, you know what, this could be one of the last days that the garden is looking this good for the season of 2021. So I thought I'd just give you a quick little look around and see how everything's doing. So here are the containers on the porch, and they are still going. Some of them are starting to look a little sad. I've lost a few petunias from some of the storms that we'd had come through, some wind damage. Here's my oh, there's a bee over there pollinating those flowers. So these are the ones I grew from seed, and you can see these are getting pretty tall here. These are probably at least 4 feet tall now in that container. And then this is my giant king Humbert, and I've got some Amaranth tucked in there that are still getting pretty nice and tall. Love those in bouquets. My climbing petunias, been a few cool nights. You can see a little bit of damage on these from a few of the cool nights, but everything's still going strong. Still got a lot of peppers to go. And my alyssum is going good. And down here I have this, I'm going to show you now, my Diplodonia, and it's growing onto, it's decided to grab hold of the scotch bonnets, but I'm going to have a few beautiful blooms in a couple of days. This petunia is really taking off in here as well. So this planter is looking better than it has all year, and it's not going to have too much longer. I am going to try and bring this in and overwinter my Diplodonia, see how that goes. Nasturtiums are still doing all right. Still lots of peppers, lots and lots of peppers to pick, so hopefully we don't get any surprise cold evenings anytime soon, because we still got a lot to harvest off of that. And tomatoes, I have so many green tomatoes, so I'm really hoping to see those ripen up. Over here, the beans, they're not doing this so hot. The peas are not doing that great. I was hoping it would be a good time of year to be planting those, so I don't know. I do have a few of the purple beans. They're very pretty. So 2 big beans on such a small plant, but they still have a ways to go because they can take some cold weather, so I'm not counting them out yet. Radishes are doing all right. Lots of tomatoes coming along. I have a few really big ones down here. This one's huge. This is another mortgage lifter. You can see that one's kind of hard to see it through. There we go. Nice big mortgage lifter there, and another huge mortgage lifter over here. And then I have some pink brandywines that I'm hoping to see go and get some color on them soon, but I don't know. If not, I'll be looking at some salsa verde and some chutneys. My Gaillardia is super happy here. I don't know if this is the best place for it, but I might put it somewhere else next year, but it's super happy. And I'm excited to see how many of these garden huckleberries are starting to go black, and hopefully I'll be able to harvest those soon. There's quite a few more on here. This morning glory is just fabulous, taking over. That basket is done. I don't know what happened. The nasturtiums, I don't know if it got too much rain or not enough, and it just kind of went boop. It's done. So, oh, hello, patrolling the garden. How is it? Oh, you got a snaggletooth. What's going on? All right. Rose mallow are having another beautiful flush of flowers. Final last stand here before fall comes, and hopefully I'll get some more seeds off of my hardy hibiscus. Straw flowers are still going strong, and those they are cool flowers, so they can take a frost and a little bit of snow, so that's not a problem. These, oh sorry, Gizmo trying to trip me on the hill. They're always underfoot. These Snapdragons are just doing amazing. They're so pretty, and they still have a ton of blooms on them. And again, these can take a bit of a snow and a frost as well. Over here, my 4 o'clocks are doing really well. I still have a few peppers over there. They're not doing so hot. That thing keeps me falling over in the rain. Snapdragons, echinacea, I gotta finish harvesting those. So many seed pods on this white hardy hibiscus. It is crazy how many seeds it's putting out. I have a few zinnias in this bed. My tomato shrub is just gone crazy. Gizmo's favorite plant in the garden right now because his little one is not producing too well. Amaranth, here's my sad cannas that got snapped in that storm that time. My lilac has decided to start blooming again. So that's nice. It gives a nice scent to the air. I do have some ground cherries down there, and they're loaded with fruit, but they're not ripening, so I don't know how long that's going to take. Good morning, ladies. Kale's getting pretty big. Something's munching on it. Urgh. And then here, some self-seeded evening primrose. Another garden huckleberry there. Some beans. Some beans that are up in the tree. I think I talked about this in my live, but I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to reach those. I might have to just kind of like take some pruners and just cut the whole branch and then let them fall down, and then I can grab them with some long pruners. So yeah, that was a bad idea. So only ornamentals are going to grow up on here. And this, I don't know, like this seed pod, like, is it me or does that just look really, really weird? It's huge. And what the heck? Is that a snail? It's a snail up on my bean vines. Good grief. I don't know, at this point I'm just letting nature do its thing. So here we have the zinnias. They are doing really well. Super happy up here, and I'm letting a lot of them go to seed just because I'm not going to be doing too many more cut flowers this year. They don't have a whole lot longer to go before we get a frost because they are very sensitive to the cold. So I want to get as much seed production as I can out of these. So that's where we're at with these. This poor planter is just, it's had better days. The petunias are really starting to feel those cold nights, and there's just not, they're not super happy. Rosemary's doing all right. The kale. This is my poor zucchini. It was doing fine like 2 days ago, so I don't know, it's gone. So we'll try again next year. And then over here, I don't know if there's anything going on with my patty pans. Last time I checked, I've just had like a ton of male flowers on them and no female flowers that I've seen to date. And it's just looking, I don't know what happened. I had the stem wrapped. I don't think there's vine borers. I don't see any sign of that. So I don't know if it's just not getting enough water in there because, oh, hey, those are really fat. Those are really fat seed pods. Look at those. So I have a few stray cosmos that are doing really well. They just seem to take forever. Every year I decide I'm going to be planting my cosmos seeds earlier and earlier because they just seem to take so long for me to flower. So this little section isn't doing so hot, but my alyssum is doing great, and Gizmo's doing good. You happy here, buddy? Yeah. Here are the hollyhocks. So we'll kind of come around from this side on this section. My Vigilia. I have more amaranth down there. And there's some like cranberry hibiscus, which I will be making tea. Thanks, Kiki, for reminding me. I gotta get some of that to make some tea with. And I got a few, oh, I forgot I even had those peppers in there. It's funny when you plant the hill and everything is so tiny, and then everything else around it grows up and gets huge. And look, Gizzy, I got peppers in there. That's a nice surprise. I know exactly why you're right on my heels. You wanna tell everybody why you're on my heels? What are you hoping for, huh? What are you hoping for? Let me see, where's some ripe ones? He's very picky too. He won't eat them if they're not ripe enough. Right? You don't like them if they're not ripe enough. Oh yeah. Good boy. That's yummy. So calendula's wrapping up. At this point I'm just happy to still see some color. We've got a few more weeks hopefully before we get hit with a frost, but you just never know. You never know. So, oh, look at those. I love those snapdragons. Aren't those so pretty? I love the color on those. So I have no idea what variety these are. They were just in a package, say Snapdragons that I got at a seed swap. And cinnamon basil. I was just out here harvesting some of the dried out stems this morning for some seeds. Can you stop breathing into the camera, please? And this canna These did amazing this year. They're huge. They're huge. They're so pretty. I'm going to be planting them a lot thicker and larger plantings next year. And we got some more peppers coming. These are the Asulio, and then I have some Buena Malata back there. Yes. Okay, don't try and lick the screen. No, no, stop. And then a couple New Mexico 6 in there. You gonna get the tour? I should strap this on your head. We can get a garden tour from Gizzy's viewpoint. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. And then my fall planting, I mean. Some of the lettuce coming up, arugula. My Tom Thumb lettuce. It's already starting to shape up. It's so cute, little rosettes. It's so tiny. And my collards. Is that collards? I think that's a weed, actually. We won't eat that in case, right? We won't eat that unless we're sure. So this little section here, my my poor Bells of Ireland has it's pretty much done. So I've been out harvesting seeds off of this as well. You get inside each of the bells. There's like 4 little seeds. There's none on these because I already came through and picked them off, but there's also these spikes, which if you can see the spikes on here now, which are hidden by the flowers. So that was a surprise the first time I came to pick some for a bouquet. Oops. So Gardener's Workshop, she says to make sure that you, Lisa, she says to just harvest them when they're young before they get the pricklies on there, and then it's not as much of a problem. But I actually had quite a few. I did cut off of this quite a bit. It has a really neat and unique smell that I really like. It's hard to describe. It kind of just smells green and maybe like a little pearish. I don't know. But I'm definitely growing a lot more of these next year. I only had the one, so hopefully I'll be getting quite a few more next year. But it's pretty much at the end of its life cycle right now. I'm curious to know how many seeds it might have dropped in this area though. So, and if you're wondering why the petunias here are not doing so well, this is why. Because somebody has discovered this pathway, if you saw my video earlier in the season, up to that tomato plant. So he pretty much trampled all of the petunias in this section. So maybe I shall put more. Oh, get out of that. No, stop. You're gonna, oh my goodness. Stop it. You're being silly. Yeah, so there's my other Petunia Vista bubblegum, which should have been doing a lot better because it was planted there and it got huge, and then it just got towered over by all of these 4-o'clocks. So they're pretty much done blooming. You can see there's still a ton of seeds in there that I could harvest if I so chose. I already have a ton already though, so I don't know if I need them, but I might come out and grab some more though. You think? And then we have a few little of the nasturtiums sitting here, and I got another one over there. It's doing all right. That petunia, you can see my petunia planters are they've just started to bite the dust. So I might be pulling those out soon, and I'm gonna wash this pot up, get some new potting mix, and use this to bring in some plants in overwinter. You can smell the tomatoes on my hand when I'm gesturing, and he keeps thinking I'm gonna give him food. Yep. And then this little pepper plant, these are my jalapenos, and I am purposely letting them go red. So I'm not just being lazy and not picking them. I'm purposely gonna let them go red because I have plans for them. So just stay tuned for that video. But comment below if you think you know what I'm gonna be doing with red jalapenos, because you can't buy them in the store. And then over here, we just have the canna lilies, some coleus, and these hostas are doing all right. We planted all of these here this year with the boxwoods where we moved them. That boxwood is not doing great, so let's hope it survives the winter. Gizmo's little, you gonna show me a tomato plant? So here's Gizmo's little tomato plant, which was about, oh my goodness, there's a red one. Good news, buddy. Good news, it hasn't had too many red ones in the last week. Oh, it's not super red, but is that ripe enough for you? Yeah, that'll do. All right. So yeah, it had gotten to about this tall for most of the season, and it just put on, like, I don't know, hundreds of tomatoes came off of this two tiny little plants. And then it just put on new growth. So it went up, whoop, it added about 6 inches just in the last few weeks, and it's put out a ton more flowers, and we got a lot of green tomatoes on there, so that's exciting. And I did kind of want to maybe overwinter this one. I wasn't sure, but I have a few seedlings down here because one of the tomatoes rotted out and fell down, and so I might just pot up a couple of these little tiny seedlings and bring them in for the winter, and we'll see if we can't get some tomatoes all winter long. What do you think, Gizzy? Sounds good? Sounds good? Sounds like a plan? Yes, ma'am. And then some other winter sowing, fall planting. I keep getting confused. So this is my Mitsubishi Kansaki. I think it's doing pretty good. So I'm not really sure what it's going to taste like or what. Oh, we got a rogue plant in here. Does anyone know what that is? I don't really recognize that one. And then in the back we got the red amaranth that's coming up. It's not getting huge though. I don't think it's getting a lot of sun back here, unfortunately. I think this basil's kind of shading it out. And then on my arbor I have a lot of morning glories, and then I have this jelly melon vine, and I did not get any I don't think I even saw any flowers on it this year, and I didn't get any. Oh my god, this is the first, and so now I'm getting fruit. Really? So here's my first jelly melon of the season. Look at how tiny that is. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's not gonna ripen up before fall. So that is very prickly. The whole plant is quite prickly. Last year I had several jelly melons. It just ripened up earlier, so I don't know, maybe it just wasn't getting enough sun here, but this is, I think, where I had it last year, so I don't know. Oh my goodness, there's a couple. They're so tiny. They're so tiny. So maybe there are a few larger ones in here buried somewhere. Oh no, there's some more. See, I just checked this just the other day and I didn't see anything, so who knows, there could be some buried up in here. Look at the size of some of these nasturtium seeds. See those? So I'll keep an eye out for those kind of starting to go brown, and then I can harvest those. But that basket, you can see the petunias really faded out in it. But the nasturtium seems to be enjoying the temperature, so that's not too bad. And I got the morning glory coming up this side of the vine. It's not as full as it was last year, because last year on this vine I had cucamelons, loofah, jelly melons, and quite a few other. I had a ton of vines on here. Hey Gizzy, how you doing, buddy? Hi. Yeah. So that's it. That's pretty much how the garden's looking right now. So thank you so much for watching. That's where we're at right now, and this might be my last full tour of the garden this season. We'll have to see. Hopefully we can go a few more weeks before we get hit by frost and start harvesting a lot more of these items. So don't forget to hit like and subscribe and click that notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye.